What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Prop Dreams Cinematic Universe. I thought I'd do a quick review of today's orb trade plays and then look at our overall performance. So let's get into it. Here's my chart today for the FJ orb. And we had 3 wins. So these blue lines are my first target. I wait for my signal, I enter, and I scale out on these targets or at break even. This fourth signal we ignore because we're already in a trade. We didn't have the previous trade stop out, so we just ignore this fourth one. This is a little hairy, but I did want to be fully transparent and just show all the trades. This buy signal pops up once this candle, this signal candle with the bright green closes. I like to wait for a close on confirmation. If you guys want, I could do a lab video and explain my strategy. I don't want to give it all away, but if you have questions, comment on this video. And, if there seems to be enough interest, I'll do a full breakdown of my strategy in a separate video. But yeah, so we had 3 nice wins today. All right, let me turn on my notes. This is kind of messy. Yeah, so the first trade, signal 44.78.75. I bought 9 MES. I actually realized today that I can risk 300 safely. We've made over 10 R in 2 weeks, so I'm just gonna bump up the risk a little bit now that we have some cushion. So I'm risking $300 per trade per account, and I'm trading 5 of these accounts. Bought 9, sold 2. I've kind of been waffling between selling half at 4 and selling 1/4 at 4 and then half at 8, but I'm gonna, for the future, sell half at 4 points every time now. So anyway, sold 2 here, sold 5 when we hit this target, so I still had 2 left, and then I ended up selling the last 2 at break even for a nice 0.86 R on the first trade. Second trade, got our signal, got in at 9, very similar risk here. Sold 2 and then sold 7 at break even, so that's where it kind of hurt me of like, okay, wait a minute, I need to go back to selling half at 4. I kind of been doing that, and sometimes I just forget, guys. Like, I'm not perfect at trading the system either. Yeah, and then our third signal of the day. You can stop trading after 10:30 in the mornings. This system works fine. It'll just be a little slower, but that's fine. But if I'm watching that day and if I'm around, then I'll trade some signals. But yeah, so round 11, got another signal. Went in with 13 since we had a tighter stop there, and there's a lot of consternation here in this zone. So we're above all our pivots today, which is weird. So I didn't really have a big target, so I knew I was going to stick to my scaling here. Some days I'll look at like big levels and consider those as targets, but this is the system, so that you have to be good at trading this system, and then you can worry about that sort of stuff. Bought 13, sold 7 at 4, sticking to my half. And if there's no good half of 13, then I round up, right? Just to play it safer. So I sold 7, sold 3 at 44.86, and then sold another 3 at 44.90. 1.5 R profit there. So let's go ahead and look at TradeZella for today. Let's look at my daily journal first, and we'll go back. Yeah, so we're doing well here. Good day. We had 3 winners today, 2 really small ones, and that's okay. A lot of traders are focused on the min-maxing of that. I'm not really worried about that right now. I'm gonna focus on building up to 20 accounts and trading this system correctly, and then I can think about maybe improving the system, but honestly I don't even know if I need to. Yeah, so our dashboard here is our entire set of Prop Dreams trades since the 20th when we started, and I gotta say we're doing pretty well. I started risking $300 today, so I got a big boost from the 3 wins, but only 1 level to level trade in here, I think. Yeah, we're doing really well, so I'm going to show you the dollar amount. We're trying to hit 3,000. That's going to happen sometime next week easily, and I still need a couple more trade days within their system. Yeah, we should get funded on our group accounts next week, and I'll show that when the time comes. But yeah, doing really well. This is my system. These numbers are small every day, but this adds up. I mean, that's 2 weeks on 1 account, and I'm trading 5 of them. Yeah, so back to our multiple. Yeah, look, Tuesday I had a good day. I pushed to bigger target with a runner. Usually I only adjust the system with a runner. So once I've gotten my 8 points locked in, I leave a stop at the 4 points gain with the runner. Sorry, break even with my runner, and then I look for those big targets. Yeah, so if we go look at Tuesday, so we had the small loss, and then we got the signal. So once we got over this pivot, I was like, okay, I definitely see the potential for this next pivot. So I left my stop at break even on my runner and let that hit. And here's how that translated, where I nailed a 3.5 hour trade where we bought 6 at 43.90, scaled out. Yeah, so once we got over that pivot, I actually held that last half to that next big pivot level. Boom. Yeah, so big trade, but I don't do that every time, and I actually don't advise to myself that I do that. So I'm kind of focused on sticking to the system and only adjusting that 1/4 runner where that is the way I can improve it. And that'll keep me, batting pretty well. So with my back testing, yeah, I'll go into this more in depth if there's enough interest in a strategy video, but yeah, so deep back testing over the last 615 trades, targeting half R, 72% profitable. I'm over 80 with one level to level win in there, so it's still going to be over 80. But so there are days where I wait for a second signal to break. So on this one, we had a loss here, and I would wait for a close above that original entry to enter the next trade if it's consecutive in the same direction on the same day. You don't even really have to do that. The system still works. So I'm just trying to beat that 72%, just by a little bit, just because I can't help it. Here's where we're at. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a lab video on my strategy in depth, and let me know what questions you guys have. But just kicking the can down the road, and we should start with the true funded accounts for my public tracking here next week. Have a good weekend, and chop the wood, carry the water.